Hey guys, Grant here for dropshipdownunder.com.au. Today I'm going to talk about editing your CSV file when you're having issues importing your products. Let's dive in. Alright, before we get started, if you do like the video, please give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and hit those bell notifications as well so you don't miss any of our videos because we pump them out all week long. We've also got some great free training in the description below. You can click on the link there. It takes you through to about 2 hours or so of great free training on how to build your own successful dropshipping business right here in Australia. Okay, so it's very common when you do start a store that you're going to have several different suppliers, and obviously they're going to have several different resources to get the products to you. And one of those ways is via CSV, and it actually does differ from supplier to supplier how they format their CSV. And I found that a lot of the time they've got a team that actually does that for you. And so that's already formatted and you basically just have to import it into Shopify. It's already set up to do that. However, sometimes you do find that they are a bit dodgy at times. Some things are not in the correct order, or they've possibly labeled one of the columns incorrectly, and you'll have problems uploading those products to Shopify. So what I'm going to do is I want to jump into a bit of a screen share to show you a simple hack that you can do to basically get things to import correctly when they're not already doing that, when you're getting errors, without actually having to edit the CSV itself. Sometimes it can just be that the columns that were meant to be getting imported on that CSV don't get imported for whatever reason, and most likely it's because in the back end of Shopify it's actually ignoring that column, or it's been labeled incorrectly. So we can go into the back end of Shopify and actually correct this ourselves without actually having to edit the CSV itself. We can just import the whole CSV and then do some editing into the back end of Shopify when we're doing the upload. So we'll jump in the screen share now and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so I'm in the back end of our demo store now, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do with this CSV. So first things first, we go up to import, click that, and we drop the CSV file in that we want to actually import, upload and continue. This is all very similar to what you do with a normal CSV file. You wait for that to happen. But instead of actually importing the products, we want to go up to this little blue box here, and it's got change the order of column headings. So if we click on that, it's going to open up this new pop-up, and you can actually see which of these columns are going to get imported and what the title of that column is. So you can see on these, I've got this is actually selected already. We've got the blue tick here, and it's got handle, which is correct. That's the handle of the product. Product title, body, vendor, type. See, all of these are actually correct for this particular spreadsheet, CSV, sorry. So what I want to show you is, if you do come in here and say, for instance, the image actually hasn't come through, we can actually click on this and make different types of selections from what's on the list here to correct it if it's not already, it's actually selected as the correct column. So most of the time, if you have an issue, you'll see this. It'll have ignore this column, and the blue tick won't be there. So, for instance, this is the image column. So I wanted to go back, and I can go back to where it was. I can go to image URL. That can work quite often, and obviously you can see that blue tick is now returned. Or I can go image down the bottom. I think there's one here called variant image. That often works too when the images aren't getting brought through. So most often it will be the image URL which works correctly, because the URL, if I select that again, you'll see the URL here is actually what's included for the image. It's not actually a file of the image, it's a URL to that image. So that's usually what works best, but I have seen it, and just recently actually, where importing the variant image worked best. But like I said, if you do go through these columns, and you can notice that, say for instance, the product handle here wasn't pulling in, you didn't, or the price even, We had that recently as well. So if we go over to the price, variant price, you can see that that's correct here on this column. It's saying variant price. The selection or the radio menu here has got the price on the correct one. But if it wasn't pulling in the correct value and it's on here, ignore this column, then you can start to think, okay, well, the prices aren't getting pulled through. I need to change this column and see if that does the trick. So you can come back in here and find price. Oh, wrong one. Price. And obviously it's gone back to the correct thing. So then we want to save column headings. And then when that does happen, you will come back out here and sometimes you will see that it's still saying that there's 0 images. For instance, I'm just using this as an example because it's one we had recently. If you do have problems with the images coming through, it still possibly will say here 0 images. But if you press import, we found that when the import does happen, you'll see most of those images do actually come through, or the column headings that you have changed do actually come through. So I hope that helps, guys. Obviously, you can work through your own particular issue based on that. You know where to find that now, and you know how to go in and change those headings to suit what's in that column underneath. So I've given you 2 examples there, but just looking at the columns as you go through those columns, as you go through the columns in the back end there of Shopify, you'll notice what's in that column. And if the heading doesn't match that, it's not going to bring it into Shopify in the correct way. Or if it's saying ignore this column, it's not going to bring anything in. So you can correct that by going through and looking at those columns. If there is something in that column you want it to bring in and you know what's in it, you can actually just change those headings. Instead of ignore column, you can change it to what it actually is and bring it in that way. All right. I hope you could follow. Sometimes I get a bit tripped up when it comes to explaining these things from screen to camera, but it's all good. We got there in the end. All right, so if you did like the video, please give us a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps us get the video out to more people. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and also hit those bell notifications so you don't miss any of our videos, because we do bang them out all week long. Also, we've got some great free training in the description below as well, so don't forget to hit that link and go through the 2 hours or so of great free training showing you how to build a successful dropshipping business right here in Australia. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.